Everyone's talking about clarity and movement and passion, but so many of you aren't feeling that. You're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling very alone, especially if you're sensitive. Nothing is wrong. There's just more energy moving through you than your system knows how to hold. I'm Wanda Vitale, and here at the Reality Architects, I talk about how to work with our different wiring that's different from about 70% of the people on the planet. No one told us. And right now, sensitives are feeling this influx or this, it's like a dam broke of energy, and we're not used to it. You feel it more deeply than other people do. You feel everything more deeply. So now what's happening is this, think of a dam. Think of a dam that's been dammed up for eons, and somebody broke down the dam, and there you are standing in a pool of water with this water flooding in, and it's not what you're accustomed to. This water, this energy that's flowing in for all of us in one or more areas of our lives is courage, pure raw life force. It's a push toward greater authenticity. Who are you here to be? Unfiltered. And it really is here for movement. But here's the problem as a sensitive, or here's the invitation. That intensity hits our old survival patterns. And if you feel overwhelmed or stuck or alone, this is really what's happening. Overwhelm is really just protection. When you were little, with your very different nervous system, unless you had parents that knew you were different, which you didn't, because none of us did, it was just too much information. Everyone experiences trauma. Everyone experiences things they don't want. But when you have a nervous system as a sensitive, it lands differently. Your system goes into self-protection mode. It's called flooding. So you get flooded with things that you can't control when you were little. If you're like most of the people I work with, maybe your parents argued about money. Maybe you learned that you were too much or not enough. Maybe you learned that I don't even have a right to exist. I grew up with that one. We take on these patterns, and when we're little, we say, well, this is how it is. I can't count on anybody, so I have to do this myself. Or we say, well, no one's coming to help me. It's all up to me. I'm on my own. And it was a way that kept us safe. These were patterns that kept us alive when we couldn't deal with what was happening around us. We were like beavers building a beaver dam in a river so that we had our own little pool. Oh, I can manage this. If I can't trust anyone else, at least I can count on me. Or maybe you just learned to shut down. A lot of sensitives did. So this overwhelm is a pattern that's familiar to you. Oh, when this happens, this is what I do. This is how I feel. Okay. And then you freeze. Overwhelm makes us freeze. Right now, in our own little pools that we've built up, that we've dammed up, this big, massive energy is coming in saying, hey, It's time for more. But your system is saying, oh no, I don't know how to deal with this. Your nervous system shuts down. And that's what overwhelm feels like. But that's what this energy is here doing. It's here showing us where we've cut ourselves off from this beautiful creative life force that we really are. That's what this energy is. And it's pointing us to the places where we have fear, where we can't trust life, where we made all these decisions about how life works, because that created our our own little pool where we said, okay, I'm safe in this. I know how to maneuver this. I know what to do here. And so when this massive life force energy is coming in, that's your own energy, it's coming up against that little beaver dam that you built. That dam is in your nervous system. It's just showing you, hey, there's more. But what you learned, your pattern is, yeah, but I'm not safe. I'm not enough. I might die if I let go. These are very old patterns that you all are here to dissolve. That's why you feel it first as a sensitive. You feel everything first. You feel it more deeply because you're actually here to do this dissolving work before the others do. Because let me remind you again that the others who are not like you compartmentalize. They can turn things off. They can compartmentalize the overwhelm and keep moving. It's more difficult for us. And honestly, why would we want to do that? It's like trying to ignore the moldy bread in your refrigerator. You're here to say, this is in the way, and it's time for me to address this. It's time for me to free myself to this greater version of who I am that I don't even know what that is yet. Also, the aloneness, because I want to talk about this. Part of it is because you're a sensitive. I can't say this enough. You're not like other people. Most of us, as children, consciously or not, felt like, I'm not like them. Most of the people that I work with who are highly sensitive feel like the odd man out, still do, because we're not like the other people. So as a little kid, overwhelm might have become a familiar feeling, but also loneliness. You didn't get the love that you gave. You weren't recognized. You weren't chosen. There's a whole list of patterns that we believe are true when we're little kids. They help us manage what we don't know how to manage. Right now, there's a light being shown on all of it. So overwhelm is here to just show you how you learn to deal with things as a little kid. When new energy comes in, we default to what's familiar. So that is going to be, for many of you, overwhelm, which is a way not to feel fear. And it's going to be aloneness, because that's how so many of us grew up as little kids. For those of you who do feel overwhelmed and feel alone, nothing is wrong. Your body is doing what it does. It tries to protect us. So it says, I don't know how to handle all this raw energy. I don't know how to handle this flood that I'm standing in, but I'm going to stand in what I know how to deal with. I'm going to feel what feels familiar to me because I can manage that. I just read a study today about certainty, or rather about uncertainty. I don't have the details in front of me, but it's a documented study that showed that rather than feel uncertain, people would rather experience a mild electrical shock that's uncomfortable rather than facing the unknown. And this is what's happening now with all of us. You just feel it more. You came here to feel what others can't yet because they're in their heads. If you feel overwhelmed, what do you do? Well, first, I want to also remind you that so many people who feel overwhelmed or afraid are riveted to what's happening in the world or in their lives. They are riveted to out there circumstances, people, situations. Again, it's our ancient primal survival response of looking for tigers, being glued to our environment so that we can run or so that we can freeze. But there's no tigers anymore. So first, I want you to notice, where's your focus? Is it on situations out there that you're trying to control or that you want to change? Bring your focus back to what's going on inside you. I want you to notice what stories you're telling about the overwhelm. Are you blaming? I feel overwhelmed because our brilliant minds say, let me go into a story about what this means, and then I won't have to feel the intensity of the overwhelm, or then I won't have to feel the intensity of the uncertainty or the intensity of the aloneness. And as soon as we do that, as soon as we go into a story, we've just given up our power. So notice, where is your attention? I want you to be with the feeling. I want you to focus on the feeling of overwhelm in your body. Is it intense? Is it hot? Is it cold? Don't attach a meaning and stay out of any story around it. I want you to be present with it. Let it be there. And every time you're willing to feel the feeling of overwhelm, what you're really doing is training your body that you can feel overwhelmed and you're still okay. Every time you sit with these uncomfortable feelings, not just to go, yeah, I feel it, but to truly be present with them, overwhelm, fear, uncertainty. You're training your body that I can feel this and I'm okay. And to go back to the analogy of the beaver dams that we all created, where we felt safe and secure, every time you let yourself be with those uncomfortable feelings, not going into story, not saying, well, it's because, or blaming somebody, you are literally dissolving that little beaver dam that you built and showing yourself that you can handle more and more of the real you, the real you. And the real you is this raw, authentic, courageous energy that refuses to stay in some little pool, that refuses to be in situations that don't fit. That's what this is about. So let me know how this resonates, and I'd love to hear your comments. Also, I'm going to have a free membership call on Sunday morning, and that would be, let's see, that would be Sunday the 26th at 9 o'clock. I'll post it in the members area. We will go more deeply into this and anything else that you want to go into. I'm also having another membership call on the 29th. Again, this is your opportunity to send in questions and get responses, and we can go much deeper into whatever's happening in your life. Thank you for listening. Really, thank you for being here because this is courageous work to let yourself feel what for some people feels like death if you override it, but it isn't. It's freedom.